Well, hello guys, welcome back. I wanted to kind of talk, we talked about a little before, and this isn't a big lecture, but it's Christmas Eve and it's going to be Christmas Day. If you want to go to church with your family and you enjoy it, you go and you do you. Now, you guys know I'm Wiccan. It's usually not something that comes up because I figure if you mention it every single time you see people, it's a bit excessive. But, I know for a lot of people that aren't Wiccan, they think, oh, church enemy, stuff like that. No, as a Wiccan, you can do what you want. You can, if you want to attend the services of another faith, it doesn't matter if it's Christian or Buddhist or Jewish or Muslim, you can go and maybe you'll even learn things and maybe you'll even have a wonderful spiritual experience. As Wiccans, we have absolutely no rules at all. Except that you shouldn't be running around hurting people because that sucks. Unless you really deserve it, and then that's different. But, of course you're going to run into witches, and many of whom will claim themselves Wiccan because there's no way to stop anyone from picking up a label and saying, this is what I am, that are going to tell you I'm wrong, and that you shouldn't go, and you're a terrible Wiccan if you go to church. Don't listen to them. There are no witch police. Now, there are people that will set themselves up as the witch police, and they think they can go around in this religion and bossing everybody else around and telling you what you can and can't believe and how to cast the circle and what colors you're allowed to wear and what goddess you can do. What goddess you can worship. Shut up, Loki. What goddess you can worship and all this other stuff, and they're wrong. They're just bossy people. If they had stayed Christians, they would be going around telling everybody what Bible verse to read and what they're allowed to believe and everything else. If they were in another religion, they would be doing that. If they were in an atheistic phase, it'd just be being a universal pain in the ass to everybody. So, including other atheists, because you have to be the right kind of atheist. I actually saw two atheists get into an argument once about how to be an atheist. I'm like, okay. You do you, man. Must be interesting. But you don't have to be intolerant to prove you love our god or goddess. You don't have to hate other gods to prove you love our god or goddess. That's like hating other parents because you want to prove you love your parents. That doesn't even remotely make sense. You don't have to hate these people. You don't have to hate their god. You don't have to hate their ceremony. Now, if you truly don't want to attend, you can respectfully say, I don't feel like attending. I don't feel called to that. That doesn't appeal to me. But if you feel like attending, go. Go and enjoy yourself. I had a guy walk past and wish me happy holidays today, and I nodded at him. And I had somebody wish me a Merry Christmas a week or so ago, and I wished them a Merry Christmas. And I wished Merry Christmas to the Foxy people I watch because they celebrate Christmas and they enjoy it. It's a polite thing to do. And, we have to think about what does a season really mean, not in a religious sense, but it's a season of hope. It's a season of light, and it's a season of peace. It's supposed to be a season where we put the rest of the rotten year behind us, and we relax, and we enjoy each other's company, and we try to be peaceful, and we try to build towards a better year for next year. And if we choose not to do that, that's our fault. That's not Goddess's fault. As I often said to my people when I was a writer, she'll give you enough rope to hang yourself with. If you want to make yourself miserable on the holidays, she will allow you to do that. She'll give you the free will to do that. When you start making other people miserable is when she's going to step in. And I had a very interesting experience because, not only was she reminding me that I was a witch, but I've been experiencing certain gods in ways that aren't supposed to be typical. And it was like, either you can have the faith that this is how they want this relationship to go, or you can be making sure I'm actually recording my voice, find time to check, or you can try to fulfill a role you don't belong in. I'm not a heathen. I'm never going to be a heathen. I'm never going to be Ezetrur, however you pronounce it. I can't even pronounce it. That shows you how I won't be that. I'm probably never going to be really good at the runes. Odin is hopeful, but it's not some grand campaign to turn me into a heathen. He just figures that I can read everything else on the planet. Why can't I read these things? I'm like, because they all look like twigs. That's a twig, and that's a twig, and that's a squiggly twig. And he's like, But I think, if he would let me do it the way I want to do it, like not actually learning the meanings, just pull out the random twig, you're sighing back there, and look at it and go, this means a good thing, and put it back in, he'll be like, yeah, but then they all mean good things. Yeah! Because when I retire, I try to look for the best possible thing. I don't look for like everything that can go wrong, or you'll sit there forever crying over your cards. I look for the best possible thing. I kind of got rid of that kismet because remember that thing I showed you? Because every time something would happen, she'd be overly dramatical. Oh, Mars is in retrograde. Oh, shut up, woman. Um, so you have to be you, and you have to be the authentic you. If you're usually positive and happy-go-lucky, and you're running from this thing to this thing to this thing, that's what you should do. You shouldn't try to then become serious and stay locked in one place because somebody doesn't approve of what you're doing. Because you're not meant to do that. You just be who you normally are. If you normally are locked in one place and you're doing one thing and you have absolutely no sense of humor at all, then that's what you're meant to be. Lucky's Becker. Well, now, what can I say? I'm a fox person. We don't take life too seriously. But I just want to remind you guys, you're perfectly free to go to church. You're perfectly free to go to synagogue. You're perfectly free to go anywhere you want to go. Do anything you want to do. Goddess isn't going to hate you or abandon you. Loki's not going to hate you or abandon you. The gods aren't going to hate you or abandon you. If you want to believe that, if that's your true belief, then you can believe it. But if it's a fear that's cropping up because people are running up to you and telling you that, or you're coming across it in your research or whatever, then you have to sit down with them and talk to them. If you were meant to be a heathen, you probably would be by now. I'm gonna be a witch and a fluffy witch at that till the day I die. Doesn't mean I don't still have a bad temper and I won't be back on here screaming about something and pounding my desk. But it does mean, come on, we all know I have bad temper. But it does mean I know enough to know what I am. Sometimes I forget, and sometimes I try to toddle off in bad directions, but that's when Goddess will pull you back in and go, no, you think about this. And so, I hope you guys are still having a happy Yule if you celebrate. If you're going to celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate something else like Festivus, have a Merry Festivus. I don't really care. As long as it's good and you're enjoying it, that's all I care about. So, I'll be going to church tonight. I'll be going to the service. I'll let you guys know how that works out unless they cancel. And I have Christmas dinner tomorrow, so yeah, sometimes it pays to get along with other people because free food and presents are involved. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.